Avengers!
Alex here, and I just want to give my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon trailer that just released. Rebel Moon's going to be apparently a two-part sci-fi epic, part 1 releasing in December on Netflix, and then part 2 in April. And this kind of started off of being rejected by another brand. Zack Snyder took this project to Disney and said, hey, I want to do something Star Wars, and it has to be R, and Disney said no, which I think is probably a better outcome than what has been happening over at Disney, which is hiring directors, announcing the projects, getting scriptwriters put together, and then canceling the projects, or firing them deep into production, like what happened with Solo, and then to a lesser extent Rogue One with its massive reshoots. So Zack went to Netflix and said, "Hey, this is my project," and barely masked it. I mean, if you watch the trailer, there's lightsabers, space combat, there's the prophecies, the chosen one kind of thing. And I love this nickname for the chosen one, the Scar Giver. It's stupid, but it's cool at the same time. It's basically Skywalker. The one who will unite the Force or whatever, or the one who's going to do all this stuff. I'm not necessarily a Zack Snyder fanboy or anything like that. I find him interesting. He puts together interesting cast. He has interesting premises. I did remember seeing Dawn of the Dead, his directorial debut, which is a remake, which is fantastic for a remake. He then went to did 300, which kind of set a tone for a genre. I like Watchmen. I know a lot of people might not, but I think Watchmen is very fascinating. I believe that Watchmen is actually improved because the ending with the whole squid thing is kind of random. And to change it that basically we are against the Superman, the one who we thought was nurturing us and protecting us, this being that the US controlled but now is kind of like a world enemy. I find that interesting. And then he went and did the Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, this really cute but interesting but kind of dark family movie. I know Sucker Punch was considered a bomb, and I find it interesting. Man of Steel, I'm not a fan of. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, I'm just not a fan of. Uh, Justice League, unless it's his cut. Then we have Army of the Dead, which I think is an interesting movie, and it seems to be creating its own little universe over there. They already had a spin-off called Army of Thieves. I believe they're doing a sequel or a trilogy of something over there. And now we have his Rebel Moon project. Ultimately, Josh and I have talked about this. I think Zack Snyder is much more a visual person, more, I would say, a director of photography, someone who should be given oversight into the look of a movie and its visual effects. I know he writes a lot of his own stuff or co-writes it, which I think can be a detriment. I would almost see him more as a George Lucas. I'm talking 70s to 90s George Lucas, where hey, this is the script, this is the world, this is how I fleshed it out and thought about it. Someone else touches up the script, does the directing. I mean, it worked well for Star Wars, it worked well for Indiana Jones, but at the same time, I always find his movies watchable, the little touches and nuance of the world engaging, and frankly, I'm getting something in this film that I did not get from the Dungeons and Dragons film, which there's a freaking Drider in it, and it looks creepy and amazing. So yeah, I don't know why I'm intrigued by Rebel Moon. It's two parts. It's going to be a big budget, knock 'em out. This is what I would do if I could touch Star Wars, and I'm excited for it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.